Hi everyone, I'm having trouble with YouTube, so sorry if this doesn't start smooth. Okay, this is Marla Miller from marlamiller.com, and I'm presenting another quick query critique. I think this is my 160th or something. We'll be changing the quick query critique submission process, but until then, I want to get to this one because this author's been waiting for a while. Okay, in the summer of 1884, West Point cadet Buck Crenshaw notes the arrival of black cadet Milford Streeter with ambivalence. Buck has nothing against the colored race, but when his classmates suspect him of being soft on the blundering Streeter, Buck's dreams of making color guard and winning the heart of Rose Turner are jeopardized. Buck fears being cut by his friends, but believes as a future officer that he should treat Streeter with basic human dignity. The problem is that Streeter's no angel. Buck's decision to help Streeter out of a bad scrape leads to disastrous results for them both. Buck escapes to his sister in the West and finds her deep in her own scandal with childhood sweetheart William Weldon. When the entire Crenshaw family arrives at Fort Grant, Arizona for a shotgun wedding, the fireworks begin and Buck must decide what he really stands for. Weary of Running is the first story of the Tenafly Road series, chronicling Buck's Crenshaw's search for manhood and meaning in life. The prequel, The House of Tenafly Road, was featured as a notable indie book of the year in the Historical Novel Society's Historical Review magazine. When not dusting off bits of Gilded Age history to shape into novels, I spend my time milking goats, chasing ducks, and keeping dogs off the table with my crazy ex-military husband in upstate New York. Sincerely. Okay, so what do I think of Weary of Running? First of all, I'm not sure if Weary of Running is the first story in this series or the second one, because the author in the second to the last paragraph mentions that another one in the series, and I'm going to assume that that one's called The House on Tenafly Road, was featured as a notable indie book. So that must be the first novel in the series. If it is, be clear about that. You definitely want to let an agent know that you've got a novel out there already, and that it's part of this series. The reason why you would be pitching to an agent for your second novel is because the first one sold so well. Now, if it hasn't sold well, but it's gotten some acclaim, as I think this one has, then that's another reason to pitch to an agent. But let's be clear about that, because it will just confuse them, and it won't help you. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, we go from third person to first person. In the last paragraph, the author becomes personal with first person, but in the rest of this query letter, she's third person. I'd stay third person. Just fix that last paragraph. It's easy to do. Just refer to yourself as the author. Then, in the second paragraph, when she's pitching this, what I thought was the story, she talks about him being against the colored race, and in 1884 that would be the name that they were called. But then she talks about the color guard, and I believe, if my military information serves me correctly, color guard and color race are different. So we're confused, so don't do that. So make sure that you fix that. And so I see that this may be a coming of age of some kind of story, because it's a search for manhood and the meaning of life. But I thought it was going to be have to do with race relations in the 19th century, and I thought, boy, that would be really interesting. So if that's really what this book is about, if this character who he helps out, what's his name? The guy who's Streeter. If he stays in this novel, I would really take a look at it and make sure that that's not the flow of this novel. Because if it's about race relations and about Buck doing the right thing against the tide, that's a good story. And I'd hook an agent with that, and I would keep that subplot about his sister, unless it's germane to Buck and Streeter. I would find a way to hook that in if it is relevant, and if it isn't, I wouldn't put that in there, because it's making me look in two different directions, and I'm looking at way too many people. So clean up all the names, tighten up your thematic through line, and good luck. And until the next time we meet, be well, keep writing, and I hope that this helped the writer.